Hey everyone, Josh here with a look at another Star Wars toy. This is Boba Fett with his Wing Blast rocket pack and overhead cannon. This is a part of a line of figures that came out in the late 90s. It was 96 and 97, I believe, when it came out. And these were what they referred to as deluxe figures. There was four of them altogether, I believe. There was Luke, Han, and a Stormtrooper, and the final one was Boba Fett. And you guys gotta all remember now that this was before the prequels came out and all the expanded universe stuff we have today. So the toy manufacturers had to be creative and come up with stuff because there was only so much in the movies that they could make toys out of. So eventually they had to come up with new ideas, and this is one of those ideas. And it's Boba Fett with a very exaggerated version of his jetpack, and I'm gonna go ahead and pick him up and let's take a look at him here. And he's strapped into this thing pretty good, and if you turn him around you can see it is a massive jet backpack with a giant missile launcher on it. It's so big I can't even fit the whole thing in the shot. That's what the whole thing looks like from the back. And you can see it actually has his little emblem on there on the wing. He's got some rotating blaster cannons and a missile. And I'll show you what this thing does. Now first off, it's kind of big and awkward, but this missile is movable. And what it does is it tilts up like that all the way into that position, all the way to back. And it actually is removable. It just snaps off of there. And what you can do is you see there's a little trigger mechanism on the top of it. And you just pull back on that and the missile's going to fire. And then to reload it, you just push it back in there till you hear click, and you fire by pulling on the trigger. Pretty simple. But there's what the actual cannon looks like up close. Kind of reminds me of a RPG. But it's actually it's really just a larger, more exaggerated version of his regular missile on his regular jetpack. And if you look at the rest of the pack here, if you look closely, you'll see there's a little trigger mechanism here and here on both sides. And what that does is it spreads the wings out. This back part you can see right now are actually wings. I'm gonna go ahead and do that. And when you pull the trigger, here's what it does. It swings out into that position. And you can see there's big thrusters under there and what to me looks like some sort of missile or something under the wings. It's kind of hard to tell because that's the only position it goes in. So when he's standing there, it looks like that. They don't rotate or anything. They just go from that position to that position. So they go from back to side. But all you're going to do is pull the trigger and they fling out, and then you can rotate the blaster cannons so they're sticking forward, and they actually rotate all the way around. And I know it's huge on the back of this thing, and I believe this section here is just so he can stand up while he's wearing it. It's like kind of like a kickstand. But to fold it back together, you just push it back and it locks into position. And then it works better if you fold the blasters back down. And all you do is pull the lever. And it releases the wings. And Boba Fett is removable from the pack. I'll show you how you do that. Now this little shoulder harness here swings up, and there's a peg on his, not a peg, but like a notch on his back, and what you have to do is push down and he slides off, and then he pops right out of here. And you can see on his back there's this big notch, and you insert that in here and then slide him up, and that's what locks him into position. And so here you can see the backpack with him off of it. And we can take a real quick look at Boba Fett, and this is a pretty, if you have just bought the regular Boba Fett figure, it looked exactly like this, except what slid on the notch was his regular backpack that you saw in the movie. And there, once again on his shoulder, you can see the same logo that's on the backpack. And let's go ahead and put him back on there. And so what you're going to do is you'll slide him right in here, and then slide him up. You'll hear it lock in, and then you just push this down. There's a little shoulder harness there, and then once again you have your giant, I mean, you can see how big this thing is. It's bigger than the pack. And if you look, you'll see there's a, what looks like a handle right there, but that's actually where you snap the rocket launcher on. And there you go. So you can see it's just really a bigger, more exaggerated version of his regular pack. They just put it on steroids, I guess. There he is, everyone. There is your Deluxe Boba Fett with wing blast rocket pack and overhead cannon. And thanks for watching, everyone. Bye.